Welcome back to Therapy Tea. Today, we are sharing part 2 of our conversation with last week's guest. Woohoo!
If you have not already, please be sure to like and subscribe to our show on your preferred podcast listening app. Please also tell other people about our show. Share our episodes with your friends, your peers, your classmates, or anybody that you think might be interested. Just mentioning our show to someone else is really awesome for us to grow our audience. We really appreciate every like, follow, and share, email, all the things.
That's right. You can connect with us on social media or through our email. Our email is therapyteapod@gmail.com. You can send us questions, comments about the show, suggestions for future episodes. Maybe you want to be interviewed or you just want to say, hey, we love you. Whatever it is, we would love to hear from you. So please reach out.
Okay, back to the rest of our conversation from last week.
New clients or new therapists, right? You don't need to pay the $10,000 for the master class. You don't need to do all the workshops. Implement what you know and build it, and then it'll happen. People will be drawn to the work that you do, the ethics that you bring. And don't be afraid to write it all down and make digital products. Get on Canva, get on Adobe, figure out what you want to say and just sell it. Put it out there.
Yeah. Okay. I need you to talk about burnout and stress. What's the secret here? Like, so this is something you're passionate about working with clients about, but also with like doing workshops about like what is the deal? Like,
Yeah, I think burnout, people think that burnout is like, okay, I just need like a bubble bath and some dark chocolate. It's like, no, you need a system that supports your nervous system and you need a life that brings you peace and regulation. So if you have a high stress, high decision job, you want to build a life where at home you don't have to make a lot of choices. Maybe things are streamlined. Maybe you pay for the food service or the catering or the laundry to kind of streamline it and then evaluate what is the stress? Where is it coming from? Is it coming from a place of trauma where I don't feel good enough, so I work and I overwork and extend my boundaries? Or is it like a thing that I'm dealing with that's left unresolved? So every job I go, I feel like I always have to show up and always do extra to prove myself that I'm good enough. And so we kind of break apart, what are the signs of burnout? What does it look like? Are you irritable? Are you slamming the door? Are you not eating? Are you not taking care of yourself? A lot of times people push through their lunch breaks. You'll see people eating their lunch or just like swallowing. You're not even chewing and digesting, right? Let's talk about your gut health. How can we increase your gut health? Because we know as therapists, your gut is your second brain, right? So why are we not incorporating that in our burnout trainings? Why are we always having, takeout all the time? Why can't we just eat some nutritious food? What about our sleep and our rest? What about the time off from work? When was the last time you took PTO? We don't need to roll it out every year, right? Like we can sprinkle in some time. And if you have a hard time resting and sitting with rest, to me, that is also a trauma response because if I rest and people think I'm lazy, and if I'm lazy, then I'm not good. Or maybe we work so much because we have so much internalized conflict about how we feel about ourselves. So burnout trainings can be very much targeted towards a general audience. Hey, what does it look like? What are strategies that we can implement? I always say, let's go back to the foundation of health. Like, let's not even talk about therapy and self-care. Like, are you eating? Are you sleeping? Are you moving your body? When was the last time you got
amen.
sleep? Are you sleeping? And people are like, oh yeah, well, like, I lay down and I can't fall asleep. And it's like, okay, well, let's talk about that. What are the thoughts that you have? Is it a to-do list? Okay, let's do a guided meditation. I love to do bottom-up processing when it comes to everything because I believe that like our brain, I always have a little brain here. My kids didn't steal it this time. I always have a little brain here and I think about bottom up. It's like in utero, when you were in your mother's womb, your brain develops from the bottom up. So why not treat it from the bottom up? We don't have to just talk about CBT all day. It's like, okay, let's drop into our body. Let's do a guided meditation. Let's learn a containment exercise. Can we contain the day and learn to leave work at work so that when we go home, the best parts of us are available? Your home life should not be the scraps, the leftovers, the crumbs. You want to build that life in your personal life, right? You want to sustain that. And that requires work. Maybe you do have to wake up early to go on that walk. Maybe you have to figure out a different plan to meal prep or eat some things that are going to be beneficial. A lot of the foods that we eat are actually making us very sick, right? They're spraying the wheat, the grains, there are always chemicals everywhere. There's these forever chemicals. It's like you can't avoid it. But what do we
Mhm.
have control over? And that plays a role in burnout. It's like,
Yeah.
are we connecting with people? Are we just on our phones scrolling and dissociating, which a lot of us do? But let's put the phone up and let's go outside. Can we sign up for a class and just go out there and meet somebody new? Can we find a neighbor and just talk? Like, put yourself out there, figure out what is the stressor. If work is the stressor, then evaluate why are you working so hard? Can you pull back a little bit less? I have a lot of clients that work in corporations. I'm like, let's just focus on doing like 80% and then carrying less by like 25%. Like, and they think about it in percentages like, okay, take your foot off the gas. What would it look like if you took your foot off the gas? Would anybody die? No. Would you lose your job? No. Do you have to say everything all the time in the meetings? No. You could literally be on the meeting, squeezing a stress ball, doodling, coloring, living your life, even just having a fuzzy blanket of your favorite drink. How do you make your life more pleasurable? When was the last time you went out and did something creative and silly? When was the last time you frolicked or like ran in the grass or played like a kid game? I don't know. Be silly.
Karen's laughing at frolicked. I'm not laughing at
I
frolicked.
just think that word is so funny. Kinda
Yeah,
like how I
get
feel
out
about
there.
moist,
Yeah,
frolic.
I took up skating last year, and it is I'm not good and I don't want to be good. I love moving fast. And I found that like this is something my therapist said because I am a overachiever, Karen. She said like you should just like do something fun. You love fun. You should do something fun. You're kind of a kid. So like do something fun. And I just like skate in my basement for a beat.
That's not very far to go.
Karen, it's snowing outside. I don't know what you want me to do about that. I can't skate.
Just improvise.
Or like jump rope or something and,
Yeah.
like do fun shit.
Yeah,
And then you'll probably feel better. And you know what? She's right. She is right.
yeah, you deserve that.
I think it's great to talk about things like burnout and stress more and to think about like this in just like small concrete ways. But I can't help but think about the experiences of people who are in situations that just you cannot do anything about
Mhm,
the level of stress that that situation
mhm,
is putting on you, right? Whether that's you are in a job where actually, yes, if you don't make a decision, someone will die, or you're going through, in a lot of my clients' case, a high conflict divorce, and actually there are real deadlines at
mhm.
play here. And like if you don't deal with this, in addition to like taking care of your kids, like you may lose some big things, and that's really going to impact your life. Or I think about the beginning of having a baby, like the first like you get that little thing home from the hospital, like that shit is insane, right? Like, so I'm thinking
Terrifying.
about these types of phases of life that maybe I think are phases, right? And we can talk about that with clients. Like, okay, this isn't permanent. Let's talk about that. But in the experiencing of them, like
Mhm.
you really don't have any way to like take care of yourself. Like, what do you do?
Well,
What are the ways? Like, what do you do?
and this is where I say, but do you?
Yeah,
Because
good question.
commuting
Do you?
commuting works. Like, when you have a kid, right?
Yeah.
I'm really big on talking about people like, "Okay, cool, you got your nursery plan? That doesn't matter. The baby's probably not even gonna be in it for the first 6 to 9 months, okay?
Mhm.
So, let's figure out your meal train. Let's figure out your postpartum care." So, think about it. When somebody's going through a divorce, they're dealing with kids, custody, stress. Okay, how can you show up for that person? How can you delegate and ask for help? A lot of times when
Mhm.
people are in their fight or flight and they're fighting for whatever outcome, they don't recognize that they need help.
Yeah,
Ask
sure.
for help. Ask your neighbor to bring you lasagna. There's a website out there called Lasagna Love, I believe. You
No.
go out there and a stranger, I know that sounds weird, a stranger will make you a homemade lasagna and drop it off at your door.
I'm gonna test this.
Me
Lasagna love?
too.
Love. It's a nonprofit. People volunteer and they make the best lasagna. I did it when I was postpartum and I was tired of cooking and I didn't know what to do. this random lady showed up. She even brought like bread and salad. Like,
You
so
have to have a good reason? Like, do I have to have been postpartum? Could I just
you're just
want a
like, "Hey, I'm
lasagna?
tired. I need a lasagna." They'll be like, "Bet." They'll ask you what your dietary yeah, I think it's called Lasagna Love, Google it. But there's
We're gonna
resources.
link it in the show notes, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna find it. We're gonna
And
link it.
also, I tell people, like, your buy nothing, sell nothing group. Have you heard of that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Buy
yes,
nothing,
Yeah,
sell nothing groups.
or your free stuff. If you look
yeah.
up
Yes.
free stuff and
But
then your
people
town.
showed up. When I had a baby, people were bringing me coffee. I never met them, but they gave me some baby clo they brought me a coffee, and some couscous with some kinda cabbage I don't know what it was, but it was great. So lean in,
Oh my
free
god. This requires you to be willing to ask for help
but that's the
and
thing.
to also, like, know that you need help. Because I think some people there's 2 components there. One is, like,
Yeah,
I'm so nervous about asking for help, that's, like, a whole thing, right? But then the other thing is, like, not really realizing that you need help.
You
You
do need help. We can't do this alone. Like, you're not meant to live alone. You're meant to have somebody
or raise babies alone. Like,
yeah,
let's come on now. Why did we make that mom's job 100%? That was
no.
crazy.
I refuse that. And anytime I see somebody going through something, I show up for them because if people didn't show up for me, at least I can show up for you, right? And
Mhm.
I understand, like, when people don't wanna ask for help, that's as therapists, we need to help them work through
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah,
like you
totally.
need period. Like, you are worthy of help, you are worthy of that free
Mhm.
lasagna love situation. If you're struggling and need some clothes or whatever, go to the food pantry. Here are the resources. Here's what
Mhm.
you need to do. And sometimes that pulls them out of the fight or flight and into this, we say the window of tolerance or like, where your
Mhm.
thermostat's at like 65 degrees and you're feeling cool and good. You need that support in every life. Every stage of life requires some degree of support. Entrepreneurs need support. They need mentorship. They need somebody that tells them, yeah, it's hard and we'll get through it. New parents, hey, it feels like you're never going to sleep again, but let me come over and help you do this, right? It's
Yeah.
like you can hang out with the baby. Let me go do your laundry. Like last weekend or 2 weekends ago, no, it was last weekend. I went to my sister in law's house. I was like, let's just do the laundry. Let's just set up stuff. We don't have to do anything. Let me make you dinner. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
attached. And she loved that, but she doesn't like to ask
yeah,
for help. It's like, I'm just gonna come. Are you
yeah,
free? And just do that. When
yeah.
somebody
I've
just
done that with
yeah, when
friends who
somebody
have
needs
babies. Just like, I'm coming. You
yeah,
you didn't ask me, but I'm coming. Yeah.
yeah.
This makes me think that the maybe our, like, epidemic of burnout is really ultimately just, like, a dearth of community.
I think you're onto something. I think that our burnout is caused by capitalism, the need to
Mm,
always work and be fueled to have, have,
mm,
have. When really, if we look around us during the pandemic, like I live in a neighborhood and somebody was making pizzas. Somebody was like, I started a pandemic garden. I had so much okra and vegetable. I was just handing it out. So it's like everybody can come together during hard times, but people need to know you're having a hard time, right?
yeah,
We can
yeah.
always read the face.
and that's the
And
thing. That's
yeah,
the thing. That's the thing we don't know how to do.
yeah.
Like, I find it interesting that, like, I learn this all the time, where
Mm,
I'm, like, feeling like I'm in a rut and it's like my body is literally screaming at me. My brain is screaming at me. I'm obviously not doing well, but then for some reason, I'm like, "No, I'm okay." But it's like, I feel like I'm having to sort of learn the skills of asking for help or not asking for help, that's we're not even there yet, of self-evaluating and knowing when I need help. Like,
Yes.
I teach people that all the time, but I don't know how to do that myself, and frankly, I don't know that I was ever taught how to do that.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna slightly disagree because I do think, like, school taught us this stuff, or at least I recall learning this stuff in my classes. Maybe what I think the real challenge is that the way the system, let's call it capitalism, but I think there's other components to it, of the system is constantly, like, pressuring us the other direction, right? So you can
Yeah,
learn it, like, one time,
that's
but
true.
when you have this constant pressure on you the other way, you're the only not really the only one, but right, you're the only one going against, like, the pressure of the system. The pressure of the system is, like, never ending,
Mhm.
saying, "No, work more, do all the things, right? Be alone and not connected to the community. Don't reach out, don't ask for help." Like, the system is saying that no matter what. So, like, I remember learning, "Hey, like, reach out for help and, like, do self-care and, like, these are basics of self-care." And, like, I remember learning that in class And maybe even learning that in other places and learning that in multiple points of my life. But like, and yet it still isn't like powerful enough maybe
It's
to
not.
combat against
Yeah.
this larger messaging that is like never ending and everywhere. You know, like we're just trying to constantly combat that. And like, that's fucking exhausting in and of itself, you know?
Yeah, and I remind clients, it's like, yeah, you don't need that aesthetic kitchen where everything matches and is beige, right? Like, sometimes your house
Beige.
will look like a house, and that's
Yeah.
okay, and it has nothing to do with who you are. Sometimes the house gets messy. It's like,
Hmm.
I joke because like, I'm a play therapist, but I don't practice anymore, so I gave all my play therapy stuff to teachers, and then I put stuff upstairs, and it's messy sometimes, and that's okay. Life is okay to be messy. It doesn't have to be the Instagram worthy photo. And I think that people compare themselves and beat themselves up, especially when it comes to women in postpartum. It's like, oh, we got to bounce back. How? We're not like a rubber band,
Yeah.
These take time. And so what if it doesn't? So what
Yeah.
if you have the stretch marks? Your life is still going to be beautiful because you housed a baby. Like we have to change the perspective and self.
You survived a parasite. That's the
Yeah.
way Jasmine and I like to think about it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like a big one.
Like a big one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
A humongous parasite. You
Yeah.
survived.
In the best way. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
they're wonderful parasites,
Sure.
but whoa.
Once they're out, while they're in there.
Whole nother story. Yeah. So I think that self-care doesn't fit everybody. It's like we have to do the community care. And I will always
Yeah.
talk community because was it the department like Surgeon General a little while back, he said we're in an epidemic of loneliness. Like loneliness is
Yes. This connects to that, right?
yeah, it creates heart disease, increases diabetes, hypertension. Like it is literally killing us more so than alcohol and cigarettes. So it's like, how do we combat that? It's sitting with the discomfort that we do need help. Can we delegate? Can we set a boundary and say no? Can we just stop volunteering for everything? Do we have to
Yeah.
people please? Let's go back and rediscover what your needs are and how to meet your needs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how do you stay in that, like everything that you just said, like stay confident and grounded in that as opposed to like sort of drifting back into this philosophy that the system would rather you do, which is like work until you literally fall over and die.
Right. And then they'll replace you
Yeah.
instantly. Look
Hmm.
at what the CEO of United, when he died, they posted that job advertisement.
Like the
literally-
next day.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
like, we gotta make money, life goes on. That's
Yeah.
why I say your workplace is not your family. They don't care about you. They
Girl,
really
say
don't.
it louder for the people in the back because, like, I
They
say
do.
this, maybe it's just like the season, but like, I feel like I'm saying this every day. I'm like, they are not your friends. Those aren't your friends.
Yeah.
Well, they feel like friends. I know, but they're not.
They're not. You might get lucky and have, like, 1 or 2 that you really do vibe and hang out with regardless of work or if you leave the job, but they literally are not your friends or your family. So when you show up to work, I tell my clients, let's reframe. You negotiated your skills and your time for what they're gonna pay you and your benefits. It's a contract. It
Yeah.
is this lifeline. You signed up for this and you have the right to leave because in Texas, it's at will. So they could fire you for whatever they want under the sun. And that's
Mhm.
it. So you do not owe your allegiance. You don't have to show up. If decide to leave, leave.
Yeah. But it's so hard for people to really like sit in that like belief. You know what I mean? Like I think that's really what it is. It's like a belief that again the sort of system has like, implanted in our brains
Right.
that this is more important as opposed to this opposite, which is like actually no, like where connection and meaning and purpose and all of those things are the things that really are what life is about. None of that shit is tied to a paycheck, right? Like that's all tied to this other stuff. But if all you do is like devote your energy to getting the paycheck, like you're missing out.
You are.
And that's why you burn out.
Exactly.
Why
And
you hate your job.
exactly. And what I tell clients that go through this is like, I need you to do something for yourself for fun that isn't paid or has any outcome. Like rollerblading. as of lately, I love bird watching. I know that sounds
Yes.
God.
well,
Yes.
Jasmine is constantly telling me about birds.
It feels something to my nervous system. I am excited. I'm invested because you know what? Like, I have bird feeders out there because there's a sparrow's nest, so I'm keeping tabs on that. Have one over here, and then in the back, it's like a crow raven party.
Oh my God.
These are all like the
That is my
worst
dream.
birds. These aren't even cool birds.
No! Those
The
are
crows, if you can make friends with the crows, they
I
will
wanna
literally.
befriend it. I
Yeah.
almost did.
Yeah,
For
you
what?
totally can. You can. You can form a relationship with
Yeah.
them, and
Oh,
they
why?
will, like, come back, and they'll bring you stuff.
Yeah.
Like
I
What kind of stuff is a crow gonna bring me?
crow treasures,
Yeah, trinkets. They are very
trinket.
intelligent. They have, like, the intelligence
Yes.
of what, like a 4th grader or like a
Yeah.
7-year-old?
Yes. Yeah,
Listen
they
to
can
this
problem solve. Yeah.
listen to this story, okay? This was on
Yes.
TikTok or something. There was a lady out in her neighborhood, and she was, like, being attacked by some man who was trying to do something to her.
Oh
This
my God.
the crows like, a group of crows is called a murder, right?
Yeah.
They all
Yes. I
show up
actually like that part's cool. Okay.
they show
Metal
up and
shit.
they attack this guy, and she is
Yes.
so I'm just saying, I'm
So
befriending all
cool.
creatures, so
Well, okay. That's a great
Yeah.
reason I can get down with something like that.
Women are so fucking cool. Like,
yeah.
we are the we
Get
are
on
witches. Like,
get on TikTok, there's a whole crow channel. Watch the crows. They will follow you, they protect you, they alert you. They are down for the cause, but do not wrong
literally, Karen.
because they
Yeah.
will never forget your face either. So if you wrong a crow, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And this is something and I know it's like, we're talking about burnout, but doesn't that bring you so much joy? I got so excited when I found out you love crows. And it's like,
Right.
it's just something to do. You look at the birds, you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, they're gonna figure it out." It's like sometimes as people are like, "Oh, man, where's my next client, the next paycheck?" It's like, "Oh, this bird just caught a worm. Cool." Like, the birds are taking care of themselves. We can figure it out as humans, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
You know, I that makes me think of like so I'm never gonna get into bird watching, guys. You're not gonna convert me, but I it makes me think of like one of the things that I love about like small children, like 1-year-olds, you know, like when I hang out with like well now they're older now, but like my nephew and my goddaughter and like they go through this developmental phase where like they experience like awe and wonder in like the ant. And I
Mhm.
still like I remember like taking my goddaughter on a walk around the neighborhood and we could not get very far because everything was so cool, right?
Yes.
Like we barely get I'm like, I mean, we're trying to walk here. No, no. Everything is so cool. She sees like a little ant and she just
Mhm.
sits down and
Yes.
follows the ant and when you let yourself like go with that, what I found myself feeling was like, yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
the ant is cool actually. Like
Yes.
it's doing cool things. I don't know if you guys know anything about leafcutter ants. They're the worst. Okay.
Yes.
They
They're
will fucking
crazy.
tear shit down. They will
Yeah.
tear down a
A tree.
tree.
Yeah.
Not even joking. But at the
Mhm.
same time, if you've ever seen a leafcutter ant carry like a giant ass leaf, you're like, this is fucking magnificent. There's something
Right.
really cool. And they follow each other
Mhm.
and they're carrying shit. And I mean, they're so cute too because they're like holding this giant ass leaf and they're like, is he gonna make it? Or like a berry or something.
Yes.
You're like, this bitch, what is it? A stick? I love seeing them carry random shit. And I'm like, look
Yes.
at that one. That one's trying to make up for something, you know? He did something wrong back in the hills. So now he's like he's trying to get some points. You know? So anyway, like I
Aw.
think you can choose to like see like interest and wonder in these small things, right? And maybe that's the way that we could translate this for people who aren't into birds or bugs, because I'm also not a super bug fan either. But like choose to see it that way. Like this is just the universe, this is the world, this is like nature, this is what we live in, and just like be present in these other life forms, this other
Right.
experience. Like we're a
Absolutely.
part of this. It's cool.
And then as it relates to burnout, the antidote to burnout is rest. So that means
Yeah.
stop chewing so fast, stop rushing to do are you washing
Yeah,
your
yeah.
dishes like this? Can we just pause and unclench and release?
Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Just
know, like
observe.
yeah. And like you said with your goddaughter and your nieces and nephews and stuff, it's like become a child and be
Yeah.
childlike so that you can also
That's right.
learn how they see the world and
Yeah.
build empathy. And it causes you to slow down because you don't want to rush the ant thing. You probably didn't even
That's
notice the ants and like
No.
we're looking up here.
Yeah.
How can we
I
look
got places to go. I'm looking down the end of the street Yeah,
Yeah,
she's like, "Oh, check this out."
exactly. I tell my clients, schedule 15 minutes to do nothing.
Yeah.
And when you think about something, sit with the discomfort because the discomfort is going to cause you to sit with it and get through it. Go to
Mhm.
lunch by yourself. You're scared to eat by yourself? Go order your favorite food and go sit out there and eat by yourself. Take yourself on a date. Slow it down.
Mhm. Dang, I love it.
Choose it, right? Every day we have to choose it, like how we choose to eat, how we make choices on what we wear, all the things. It's a choice. It goes back to your lifestyle. Are you building a life that sustains you or drains you? And I'm choosing the sustainable one because the one that drains me, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Is that we have to show up for each other. We have to pause and really enjoy life because at the end of the day, life is not guaranteed. It's
Yeah.
like you woke up today, go do something about it. Go enjoy that moment. Even if
Mhm.
it's 5 minutes, go do something for 5 minutes. You're not worthy of 5 minutes. Let's reevaluate your schedule.
I'm gonna tell y'all, I got a cookbook recently that's like a meal
Oh my
plan.
god, Jasmine, I bought it after checking it out at your house. I now own it too.
It it's like it's called dinner plan or
The
something.
Ultimate Meal Prep
Yeah, and
by
it's like
America's Test Kitchen, which
yeah,
all their
and
stuff is
they
good.
give you a weekly grocery list that I swear to God, you go all the way through. Like there's no crumbs at the end.
No
It
brains.
just starts over at the next week and it's like you're eating tons of different kinds of food
Yeah, very
Yeah.
and
vi
then you very vi like v- and I
very
was like I was honestly just buying it because I was tired of kind of eating the same things over and over again. And my
Yes.
partner is like, "Yeah, whatever you make is great." And so I was just like,
that shit
no
is so
input.
annoying. I
It's
know.
so annoying.
Yes.
And I was noticing that. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just buy another cookbook, whatever. And so I was like, let's make it less work for me. And I'm gonna tell you, like, it's like a Bible for me. It's like
Yes. It
it's
doesn't.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to think. I go online, I pick all my groceries via the cookbook, or I go into the store and it's sectioned off by, like, section of the grocery store. I don't have to it's like that's the fat, that invisible work that it's, like,
Of
thinking about
coming up
where to
with the
Yes.
menu,
Right.
Yeah.
figuring out the route, like, making the list. Yeah.
And how much it weighs outside of the actual task itself. So it's like, I'm thinking, 6 months ago, I was thinking, "Oh, fuck, what am I gonna make for dinner?" And then like, okay, so leftovers and stuff, and I'm doing this in the middle of my workday. And now it's like, nope, got a book that tells me and it's a fucking game changer. Like, seriously. Yeah. It seems like it's not gonna be that big of a deal, but John's like your point, like, how fast are you chewing? Like, what are you thinking about when you're just watching a TV show?
Right. I love that. Take out the extra brain decision making. It's like, hey, if
Yes.
you know you're gonna wear this and that, just have it all clean and ready to go and just pull it out and put it on.
Yeah.
The less decisions, the less fatigue.
Yeah. This connects to that whole, like, capsule wardrobe thing, which in
Yeah.
theory, I'm such a fan of, right? I don't know how to actually make it happen in my life. But I love this concept, right? Of like really just acknowledge like we have created a lot of invisible work in the way that we live our life. And like, for what?
Mm-mm.
For what? It's not actually yielding better meals necessarily. It's not yielding like, that you really feel that much better about yourself or that you really wear all that shit, or whatever.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Why? Cut it
Exactly.
out. Find ways to just
Yeah. Sometimes simplifying it and streamlining it, that's just the way to go.
Shanaz, what do you wish you had known?
oh my God, we forgot to ask you that.
I know. She's so inspiring. Like, please tell me when you're gonna speak next, because I'll probably show up, especially if it's virtual, I'll show up.
Yes.
Um, okay, so, yeah, what do you wish you had known before becoming a counselor and freaking wellness extraordinaire?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think the biggest thing is just knowing who you are as a person, like your
Yeah.
values, your beliefs. That's always going to guide you in either the business decisions you make, the opportunities you turn down, the friends you associate with. Like when I
Mm.
think about friendships and relationships, it's like who are the people that can walk with me in the good and the bad, and then I want to invest in that, right? Like if there's something going on in my life, I want that friend to be there, and I want to be there for them. So what does that take from me? Who am I? What do I value? What are my beliefs? And then that can be your guiding point to all the decisions you make, right? Like, hey, I want to leave an impact or legacy. I want to make a difference. Okay, well, how are you doing that right now with the resources and tools you have now? Okay, well, I have this idea. Let's sit with it. Let's see how we can make it happen. Do it. Oh, these are my values. I love to give back. I love to support, charities and nonprofits. Okay, well, what do you want to do? So think about who you are, your values, your beliefs, how that guides you, because that will never change anything. The moment that you start taking these bad decisions and deals, it's probably because something in your values is now in misalignment, right? So go back to that. Trust yourself, listen to your gut, think about it and how that impacts you, and be true to yourself. A lot of times we become things that we're not, or we want to prove to ourselves that we can do it or be something else, and that creates internal conflict. So be true to yourself, be silly, be funny, be the person that you are, and don't let anybody change that. Don't let the world take that away from you. If there's a certain quirk that you have or a certain thing you bring to the table or certain something that people remember and love you by, keep doing that. That matters. So I would just say be yourself, trust yourself, and it's okay to make mistakes and grow along the way, but really stick to those values and beliefs because that's going to really guide you in personal life and in business.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Like, what do you want to be known for? That's something I think that's sort
Ooh.
of in ACT therapy, but also circulating amongst like a lot of therapists in like Reddit and stuff. It's like, what do you want to be known for? Like, do you want to like just be a therapist? That's great. But I don't know a lot of therapists like that. But do you want to, infuse more creativity or like help people connect in the community?
Mhm.
Okay, do that. Just do that. Just try to do that. And if you fail, whatever, keep trying to do that.
Yeah. I think that that's a great question. And I also say, like, what do you want to be remembered by? Right? Do you want to
Yeah.
be remembered by the grouchy person that always complained about every little thing? Or do you want to be the person that even though they had the hard things, they were still grateful and still found a way or inspired somebody, right? It's like even I say this to everybody. People are always watching, right? They're looking for you to say like, "Oh, okay, are you the person that I can go to? Are you the person I can trust when I need something? Are you the person that's gonna criticize and gossip about me?" Right? I wanna be known for the person that was present for my kids, that showed up and loved them. I wanna be known that I made a difference in just at least 1 or 2 people's lives, and I know that I've already done that, but what can I do to make it better with the time I have and the resources I have? I think that if we were to really sit with that, it would kind of create this ripple effect of supports and love and kindness because we don't see a lot of that nowadays. And so be yourself, follow your values, and don't be afraid to show up either. And don't be afraid to show up and take space. For the new therapists that are listening, take up all the space. Like physically get up and take up space where you're at as you're listening to this. And remember that what you have can change somebody's life. So don't stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder about you know, how we actually define our values. How do you think that develops? Like how does one do that?
I mean, I think it just goes back to like who you are essentially as a person. Like what do you invest in? What takes up your time? What gives you energy? What makes you feel lighthearted? Those are things that can be attained through our values, right? Like I love to laugh and have a good time. I love to tell jokes, but I also do really heavy trauma work, right? And so it's like
Mm,
I show up and be really supportive and we can find things to laugh about in session. But me, I love to be genuine. I cannot stand fake people and I can spot them a mile away. So for me, it's like I wanna be genuine and authentic in how I show up. What you see here is what you see in therapy, what you see in my other life. It's like, I don't wear any mask. I don't believe in masking to protect whatever parts. This is me. These are my values. I love to show up for people. I love to support, encourage people. I feel like I have a gift to inspire people. I don't like to gatekeep. I love to share my information. I wanna make sure that everybody wins. Those are the values that I align with, and I also have my own spiritual and religious beliefs too on what my purpose is. My purpose is to serve and to show up.
do you get the sense that you've known these values are yours for like your whole life, or was there a way that you realized? that?
I think it's a slow buildup, right? It's like
Mm.
you start to realize it, and then the older you get, you recognize that your time and your values make the most sense. What can I do with that? I don't think that happened for me until like my late 20s, to be honest.
Okay.
It takes time. There were certain values and guiding points on how I treat people and how I respect people and how I show up. But going back to grad school, like as therapists, we had to like turn off our personality and like we were told don't wear a lot of jewelry, like wear your pants, flat shoes, your cardigans, like the sweaters, like sweat in that session. It's like, no, but I
Yeah.
now
Wear
in
that long ass sweater that covers your
yeah,
butt.
it's like, I can show up now and have my own personality. When I go to networking events, I have like this I always joke, I have like this denim, like one-piece jumpsuit, right? And people are like, "We didn't know you were a therapist." It's like, "Yeah, I'm a therapist some parts of the day, but I'm also myself the other time." It's like, my therapist identity is only limited to the work I do. As I show
Mhm.
up is how I show up, right?
Yeah.
You bring your own
Yeah.
personality, your style, like, your colors, how you show up in the world.
I know.
Values take time, but it can change too. Things can change.
Yeah. Makes me think like, do people think that therapists have like a certain uniform? Like, yeah, but I get what you're saying too about like there's that other people maybe have a preconceived notion of what a therapist looks like
Mhm.
or what a therapist acts like. Because I get that sometimes too, maybe less so about my clothes, but more so about like my way of being because I am very direct. I'm
Mhm.
pretty confrontational. I'm comfortable in a confrontational space. I like to play the devil's advocate just because I'm in the mood,
Same.
and that's maybe not stereotypical therapist behavior or therapist way of being. And so for a lot of people, I do often get this kind of like, it's kind of weird that you're a therapist. And it's like, well, you realize I'm not working right now, right? Like, we're not working.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that as therapists, we are held to that recognizable response about, "Oh, you have to be a therapist in every
All
aspect."
the time.
That wasn't very therapist-y of you, or don't
Yeah.
talk to me like a therapist. Like, "Whoa, we're not
Yes.
in therapy right now.
Yes.
I'll bill you for this conversation
Yes.
later, but"
Yeah. If that's the way you want it, right? I get that with my husband too. Do other people get that? Right? Y'all are married
Yeah.
where they're like, you're a therapist. You shouldn't be like upset right now. And I'm like,
Oh, no.
Yeah, we're
or
people.
whatever. The way I talk, like if I'm having a moment in our marriage, right? And it's like, you're the therapist. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah, but sometimes as therapists, it's like it's one thing to be a
I'm a
therapist and
person.
to perfect, like, the skills, and then it's one thing to actually practice and actually sit with it, right?
Yeah.
And
Right.
that's what makes us human as therapists. That's why
Yes.
therapists go to therapy because we have our
Yes.
own stuff to work on.
Yes. I'm a person too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there are times when I'm not inside my window of tolerance, just like every other person,
Yeah.
I could,
Given the
yeah.
state of the world, I don't think a lot of us are.
Yeah.
It's a fucking challenge.
Laugh before I cry. Shanaz,
Yep.
I could listen to you talk literally all day. I am wondering strongly, what resources do you have for, or would you recommend for other mental health professionals? Like books, shows, talks?
That's a good question because I really don't recommend a lot of books. I
Fair?
don't have a lot of shows because I don't watch a whole lot of shows. I mean, I would recommend watching that show on Apple TV, Shrinking, and not do what
Yes.
they do.
Yes. It's
And
so
not
good.
do what they do. Is that what you just
Like,
said?
don't hang out with your client and do karaoke.
This is
I
a
mean,
good list of what not to do on
yeah,
this
it's
show.
just funny. It is just a funny show, but I would say the biggest thing as a therapist, the biggest resource that you have is really just networking and connecting with other business owners. They don't even have to be therapists. If you wanna
Mm.
be successful in life, have a diverse group of friends with different skill sets and different things. Allow them to challenge you and be open to feedback. But I don't really have a whole lot of books. I would say I can't even think of any because 'cause I'm just so deep into, like, parenting that it's like we read kid book all day, so I don't have tons of resources, but I would
Hey,
suggest
that might work, right? Do you have like a children's book that is like
Ooh.
particularly hitting
Oh,
that
man.
you'd recommend all parents get?
Ooh, you know what? Daniel Tiger and
Oh my
Bluey
gosh.
the show
Yes.
Bluey is all about emotional
I
regulation.
like Bluey.
I
Yeah.
love
I watched
Bluey.
it one time with my goddaughter, and I was like, "This shit's good."
Well,
Yes.
there was a Bluey episode about the mom, and she was raising Bluey or Bingo, I forget which one, and she was comparing herself to, like, the crawling and how her little one developed, and then she realized at the end of the day it didn't matter, like, her kid was developing at their own rate, and they were still be able to love and care for each other. So Bluey is definitely great on emotional intelligence.
Cool.
Daniel Tiger, also a great hit on, like, normalizing parents come back, dentist appointments, you
Is
know?
Daniel Tiger a show or a book?
It's both.
I mean, both,
Oh, it's
but
both.
the
Okay.
show, yeah.
It's almost like a Mister Rogers meets
Uh-huh.
Tiger vibe.
Well, I think he made it, right?
Well,
Like
he did? Okay, yeah, because he's in a
yeah, I
school.
think so.
Who
I
made it?
think so.
Mr. Rogers?
I think
Yeah.
he's influenced it. Yeah, I
Mhm.
think he did or something. Yeah, so I'm drawn to those, but
Okay.
at the end of the day, if you're a therapist and a new therapist, get consultation, go to therapy, and, you're gonna make it. You're gonna figure it out.
What about maybe we already slightly touched on this, but because, Bluey is great, but what's maybe the thing that you recommend all people do? Like whether that's a certain book or a certain movie or like just a certain thing that you're like, look, everybody on the planet needs to read this or watch this or do this. Just what are your thoughts?
Ooh, that's a
One
good
thing.
one book.
Yeah.
I'll put something out there for your adult listeners that probably have never done this. I think I put it in the
I
forums.
hope I'm gonna say this real quick. I hope we only have adult listeners because this is an explicit show, and kids, this is not appropriate for
Kids
you.
log off.
That's right. Okay, what's for our listeners?
Yeah, I would say tap into, like, your inner child, and I know this sounds crazy, but the Batman Lego movie
Oh.
hits every time. Have you seen
I've
it?
no, I've only seen wait,
It's
this is different than the
hilarious.
regular
It's so
the
funny.
So
regular Lego
funny.
movie?
Yeah, Batman Lego. It's just like Batman with Legos, but it's like his
Yeah.
story and, like, his need to, like, let go and always, like, do things himself and to delegate and lean into his community and have fun. It's a great movie. I recommend you watch it. I don't
It
know if
really
it's
is.
streaming
It's
on
hilarious.
not associated. I don't get paid by Batman Lego yet. It's
Lego, hit us up. I
It's
spend a lot of
good.
money.
And as an adult, like, I can just laugh and just have a good time, but there's a good storyline to it. It's like there's more power in the people around us.
I love the hidden meanings for adults in children's movies. That is
Yeah.
so great. Yeah. Okay, well, I've only watched the original Lego movie, but
No,
I've never
there's
seen the Batman one.
yeah, Legos, they're Ninjago, which is about, like, father-son relationships. I mean, this stuff goes deep.
The Lego movies really slap. Like, they are so funny,
It's
and they
The
don't take
first one was
themselves.
funny. I thought it was hilarious.
The Craggle lives like, Will Ferrell saying the
yes.
Craggle lives in
Mhm.
my brain, and I'll just laugh about it sometimes. It's incredible. So, to your point, Shanaz, find a movie
Yeah,
that will live in your brain and give
yeah,
you just a little bit of hidden joy.
yeah, lean into that. Have joyful micro moments of it.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, love that. Okay, cool. Well, what about plugging? Is there anything you'd like to plug for yourself?
Yeah, so I have several, digital products that are available on, like, the Buy Me Coffee app, which is online, and then there's also, like, Gumroad or Gumdrop, and then you can find me online because my name is super unique, so
Mhm.
it's just shanazikonne.com. You can find me online. If you Google me, I will pop up in your feed, and you can find me on all the social media pages, but if you'd like to support, I'm also accepting new clients and coaching, and if you are a business owner and need help, I'm here to support you.
These are things that you've created and are available on your website, which we will
Mhm.
link to in our show notes so that way if people want to check out these different digital products that you've created or want to get in touch with you or just want to kind of follow you or maybe get in touch with you about speaking engagements, they can do that.
Absolutely, and also on the business side, if they're struggling or need support or business
Mhm.
mentoring, I also offer that as well in terms of, like, coaching calls and helping you narrow it down, like, your population, how to show up, how to pitch, all of that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I could definitely see new
Yeah.
therapists benefiting from just
Mhm.
talking to you
Just
about
like
all of
one
this.
conversation would be
Uh-huh.
like
Mhm.
mind blowing, you know?
Yeah, and I love to meet with people and give them, like, they'll tell me what their idea is, and then I'll come up with a whole marketing plan for them, and they don't even ask for it, but it's like, "Oh, this works, it helps." So, I love creating ideas, so happy to help the listeners.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this. This has been like a really great conversation. I love what you do, and it sounds like we could talk about it more and
Ooh,
all of that. So we love whenever we get to talk to listeners where we're like, oh my God, we have so much more that we could do and talk about. We
yeah,
haven't even finished a conversation, but hopefully we touched on a lot of really cool stuff.
Absolutely. And anytime that you guys want me to come back, I will reschedule and be there for y'all.
Yay!
With a lasagna?
Yeah, with lasagna, right? Yes. I love it.
Well, thanks again. And everybody, we will talk to y'all later.
Bye.